Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So yesterday we were seeing the story that this king, what happened with the king? This Dantila and this Goramba, they had a feud because on the marriage day of Dantila, or the next day of marriage of Dantila, when he had invited the king and all the retinues to the house, this Goramba, who was a sweeper, he sat in an inappropriate place, which angered this Dantila. Therefore, he pushed him out by holding his collar. Okay. Now, this Goramba wanted to take a revenge because what is the life? What is a life without a revenge? You are not even fit for life living. That's what he thought. So he decided to take revenge. He was waiting for an appropriate time, and he got a plan. So he got a plan and appropriate time, which was to blabber in front of the king while he is not careful. And that kind of situation was always available. He was sleeping one day early morning, and the king was lazily lying down on the cot in slumber. And at that point of time, he said, "What kind of person this Dantila is? Huh? He is hugging, he is embracing our king, a queen. What kind of person he is?" Suddenly, king got up and said, "Hey, Goramba, what are you blabbering? What are you saying?" So then, according to the plan, Goramba said, "Oh, sorry, king, I don't know. I didn't sleep yesterday night. I was playing this gambling. I am addicted to gamble. So I was playing the gambling the whole night, and I didn't sleep even a wink. So while sleeping, while sleeping, the sleep caught me very powerfully. So I just went into sleep. I don't know what I said. So, okay, go, like that, the king said, and was thinking about what happened. See, this Dantila can go to any room, any place, anytime. And this fellow, this sweeper, Goramba also can go anywhere, anytime. So, probably this Goramba had seen Dantila hugging the queen. Naturally, that is why he is blabbering. Otherwise, why will somebody blabber in sleep? So this is what it probably is. He started thinking bad about Dantila and then about the queen also. And then we said it is not about the queen, it is not about the woman, it is about teaching the three kids because they are going to be king later. And when they are going to be king, the enemy king should not send a woman to girl or woman to trap this fellow. So to make him careful, all this teaching were presented. Okay. Now this situation is this situation. Now the king decided to avoid completely avoid Dantira. So he prohibited him from entering the kingdom also. Not kingdom, the palace. So Dantila comes to the palace gate and he is not allowed. He sees there is a sudden change. What happened? Yesterday I was allowed and today I am not allowed anywhere. Even the gates. What is happening? Yeah, it is rightly said. When somebody becomes rich suddenly, he becomes egotistical, and people get their mind are afflicted at one point of time or other by women, and the who can be closer to a king, and who is not caught by time or death. Everyone is, and who can be good among when they are stuck among the bad people, sinners. So these are all natural things. And who has seen a cow being a very pious, pure cow? No one has seen. Who has seen somebody speaking truth in the gambling den? No one can do that. Or who has seen patience in a snake? Or who has seen the subsidence of lust in a woman? No. And who has seen a eunuch, a bravery in eunuch? No. Who has seen a philosopher who is a drunkard? A drunkard cannot be a philosopher. And who has seen friendship with king? No one. So these are all impossible things. So and I started thinking, did I do any mistake? No, I have not done anything bad or even thought about anything bad for the king or his family or his people. Why suddenly this change? He didn't understand. But anyway, he has to come. Every day he came to the palace gates and waited for the king to allow him inside because there are problems he has to solve of the people. And people ask him, "What happened, Dantila? Did something happen? Did you go to meet the king?" He has to answer them also. So every day he comes to the gate and he waits. And one fine day, This Goramba was coming out from the palace after doing his job. He saw Dantila waiting there in the corner. He told the security in the gates. He said, "Oh, gatekeepers, sir, you have to be very careful about this person. He is a very respected person in the palace, sir. Don't you know? He has all the power. He's in charge of law and order. He can do anything against you. Like he did, he pushed me by holding on to my collar. Like that, he can throw you away out of this place. Be careful." That was in mocking tone, he said. He was mocking Dantila. Dantila heard this and he understood there is some problem. What did I do to this fellow? And he gave a hint also, like he threw me out of his house by holding on to the collar. Ah, that was the thing. Okay. He came back to his home and sent a message to Goramba. Dantila came back to his home and sent a message to Goramba to please grace him at his house, to meet him at his house in the evening after the work. So Goramba also, after he finished his work, he came because he was a respected man. Even though he is not a powerful man in the palace any now, but he is a respected man. So he came to his house and said, "Yes." So even before he says anything, Dantira showered him with good gifts, clothes and things. Receiving it, Goramba became so happy, like he got the heavens in his hand, or things of heavens in his hand. The blessings of heaven has come to him. That is how he saw it. And after giving this, Tantila told Goramba, "See, Goramba, I didn't do that because I hate you. I had to do that because you didn't respect the rule of the place. You have to be seated in a proper situation place, but you sat in another improper place. That is why I had to do that. Please forgive me." Now after this, Goramba was very happy. Already he was pleased by the gift, and now this great man is asking for forgiveness. He said, "No, no, no, don't worry, it's all solved now. Don't have to worry about it. Now see my smartness, how I will do. You will be allowed inside the kingdom and all that. You will be allowed inside the palace and all that. You will get all the respect. See my intelligence." It's like that, he said, and he back. And next day morning, while sleeping, he has a plan which had worked already. Earlier he has tested that. Now time tested plan, he uses it again. While sleeping, this king who always probably is in slumber, he was like that, he is lying down. And Goramba, how can he eat that? Hearing this, king got up. "What are you blabbering? Have you?" "No, I am keep a wink. Therefore, I don't know what I blabbered. I got caught up by the sleep. So please forgive me. If you were not my servant, I would have beheaded you. What are you doing? Get lost." Then he escapes. Now, not in this life. Even in my past lives, I would have never done this kind of while excreting. I've never done that. How can this fellow tell a lie? Probably this fellow said a similar lie with regards to our Dantila also. I disrespected a very respectable person because of this fellow's lie. I did a very terrible message and a messenger to bring with respects Dantila to the palace. So Dantila was brought to palace and the king showered gifts on him that were suited for a king to wear and all that. So he was very pleased and he reinstated Dantila in his previous position because he was not entering the king palace. The administration, the palace and the administration, the city, both were disturbed. So he had to take care of all that. So he gave the same respect and everything was fine. So, uh, Yes. So this is the story. Damanaka tells Sanjivaka, see, if you take care of me and I will take care of you. If we go according to the plan, everything will be fine. Okay, fine, let's go. So they go back to Pingalaka, the king, where he is the lion king, where he was sitting. And Damanaka tells Pingalaka, see, I have brought this fellow. Now you do whatever you want. You take care of it. And Sanjeevaka goes in front of Pingalaka, salutes him, stands with all humility, and seeing that Pingalaka becomes happy, and he is already he the Pingalaka Sanjeevaka's shoulder and said, "Okay, is everything fine? What are you doing in this God-forsaken forest?" That's what he asked. Sanjeevaka, he was waiting for someone to ask this story. He started from the beginning, the very beginning. So, and ended up saying, Vardhamana and his people who were deputed to take care of me, they also left me. What do I do? So, Pinkalaka says, don't worry, my friend, everything is fine now. You are under my control. I'll take care of you. Okay? Don't worry. Be careful. Don't go alone. Don't venture alone in this forest because this forest is very difficult even for wild animals. And you are a person who is a herbivore, who is a grass eater. How can you stay alive in this forest for long? So don't worry. Be in front of my eyesight. I will protect you. Okay? Come, let's all go and have a drink. Where? Water, not drink. They are taken to the Yamuna river because this fellow was thirsty. He was not drinking water because of fear. You remember? So Pingalaka and the whole group go to Yamuna. They drink water peacefully and then walk back to the forest. After that, there is a twist. This uh, the Pingalaka understands Sanjeevaka is a very intelligent, smart person, well-read person. So he appoints these two fellows, Karataka and Damanaka, as caretakers of the kingdom, and says, entrust them the rule. He said, take care of the kingdom. I will go for discussion with the Sanjivaka. Because even by accident, if you meet a great person, good person, learned person, it is always fruitful. Something or other you learn. Now, they went alone. They were discussing with each other. And Sanjivaka is a learned person. Wait, Sanjivaka is a bull. How can he be a learned person? What is the logic? See, this is a story told to those three kids. So, to make the matters very interesting for the kids, the story, the characters of the stories are animals. You have to replace the animals with a person. Sanjivaka is a person, well-read person. Pingalaka is a king. Okay, and Karataka and Damanaka are good ministers. That is how human beings. That's how you have to see. Okay, now they were discussing, and because this fellow is a very Sanjivaka is a very learned fellow, he imparted his knowledge, and within short period, Pingalaka became a smart person. Not just that, Sanjivaka transformed his character also from being a very cruel hunting animal. It became a very soft pet animal kind of. Okay, from being a wild animal, it became a pet animal. Now he left all the bad acts and all, and he started. They were continuing their chats because he was learning more and more. So they were continuing their chats. But the thing is, during the chat period, during that period, no one is allowed, even the Karataka and Damanaka, also not allowed it, to come any closer. And because Pingalaka has left his cruelty, he is not hunting. And because he is not hunting, the other animals are hungry. Why will other animals be hungry? Because it is nature of the forest. The king, the lion, it goes and it hunts some prey, it eats whatever it wants, leaves that food. The rest of the animals take care of the leftover. That is how the rule of forest is. So, since this fellow is not going to hunting, the other animals are completely hungry, including Damanaka and Karataka. So their throats are parched not because of a lack of water, but because of food. They were weak. They could not even speak. So in this situation, Karataka and Damanaka started discussing with them in secret because they had to do something. So he said, okay, um, okay. So they were they were trying to do it. The other people they left. Why? Because see, even if the king be a good person, if he's there is no result from him or there is no salary from him at proper time, no one is going to stay with him. Even if maybe a person from lineage or good character and all that. What is the point? I'm not getting any result, right? And even if a person is a bad person, but if he is paying at right time, people will stick to him, even if he is going to shout at them and all that. That is, they'll accept and wait for the proper time. That is what it is. Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. Through using these techniques, they'll wait. Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda means Sama means have with your enemy. This is how you have to, or enemy or opponent. This is how you have to act. First, Sama, have a peace. Declare peace with both. So stay safe. If that is not working, then gift him something. Dana. You gift him, then he says, oh, this fellow is a good person. He gifted me that, so let me not trouble him. So he'll leave you alone. If that does not work, Veda, distance that person. If that also does not work, Danda, punish that person. So this is how the rule of a world is. You have to take each step one by one, not directly go to punishment. Punishment is the last resort. Okay. Now, everyone waits for their person with patience for their by spreading the net of the sama etc. to devour the other person. What? Yes, this is how the world lives by this rule. Whether you learned it or not, whether you understand it or not, this is how the rule of the world is. Everyone wants to eat as though the other person. So you can see the king waits for watches carefully, waits with patience with respect to the other kingdom. And doctor waits for his patience. With patience with patience, okay. And merchant waits for his customer. And pandit waits for learned person, even if an idiot, he waits for only that idiot. And the thief wait for a careless person. And the monks or beggars, they wait for householders. Lustful person waits for a prostitute. uh, the whole world waits for good craftsman, because it's very rare to find a good craftsman, handyman. And the grass or the grain or the fish, etc., they wait for good rains. Everyone is waiting with patience using the sama, etc., for having the other. Okay, now whether it's snake or a wicked man, their this mind's desire does not get fulfilled in this world. Otherwise, how will this world exist now? They would have completely swallowed it up. So this is how it is. See, now everyone wants to eat other. Let me explain you through a beautiful story. See, Shiva, in Shiva's neck there is snake. That snake is waiting for the proper time to eat the mouse of a Ganapati. Ganapati's vehicle is mouse. So it is waiting for eating that mouse. And Kartikeya Bhagwan, Ganapati's brother, younger brother, his vehicle is a peacock. That is waiting to eat this snake. Okay. And Parvati, husband of Shiva, wife of Shiva, she has her vehicle as a lion. That lion is waiting for a proper time, appropriate time to eat this Kartikeya's peacock. So, if this is the situation in Shiva's household, Should we even talk about your own household, your and our household? Everywhere there is a problem. So someone or other is waiting for doing some trick or other, playing some trick or another on the other person. So this is how the rule. This is the rule of the world. Okay, so this Karataka and Damanaka, they were speaking about things like this. See, our people have left, so and we have become very unimportant person in this country. Karataka, what should we do? What should we do? You tell us. You tell me. Karataka says, okay, since you asked me, I'll tell you. See, even if the king is not listening to you, it is your duty that you have to correct his mistakes. Because if a minister is not correcting the king's mistake, or if a Mahot is not correcting the elephant's mistake, then both this minister and Mahot will be blamed. They'll be spoken ill about. They'll be spoken ill by the people. So you should take care of that. So do you want me to advise? Yes. Even Vidura advised Dhritarashtra. So without good advice, the mistakes cannot be corrected. The minister's duty is to correct the mistakes of the king. So you have to do it. And the whole problem is brought by you. You brought that. You took it up as a challenge, and you brought this grass eater. Holding the coal in your hand is what you did. That's a mistake you did. Burning coal, that or burning charcoal, that is your problem. So you have to solve it. Then Damanaka says, yes, yes, what you say is right. It's my mistake, not king's mistake. So let me solve it. It's always like this. The mistake is ours. Like the jackal in between two rams. Ram is a kind of goat, no, jungle goat. They'll hit at each other with their head. They'll knock each other with their head. And if a jackal is going to be caught in between, it's going to be definitely killed. And we, with respect to this hypocrite, are Ashada Bhuti, or the messenger woman, when she is doing other chores instead of doing the messaging. So they all get trapped by their own work. So, what Ashada Bhuti? What did you talk about Asha? We are trapped by Asha. Like head of the monastery was this person called, this monk called Deva Sharma. Okay, so he was taking care of everything. And since it's a secluded place, all the other mendicants, all the other monks who travel by that side, they used to drop in and stay there, eat food, and leave. So this is this situation. While they leave, they used to have some valuables, right? So you cannot walk in the jungle with valuable. That's a dangerous thing. So they used to give it all to this Deva Sharma. And at a point of time when Deva Sharma looks at around, he sees so many valuable things. So he decides to sell everything. Sells everything and he becomes very rich. After he got all that money, he started distrusting people. He didn't trust anyone. And he always carried the money under his armpit. Day, night, he was taking care of it. It is correctly said. Earning money, it is difficult. Protecting it is much more difficult. Whether it's a pain, whether you lose it or you, it's a very dangerous thing to fight upon it. That's what people are saying. People say. So it's very difficult to hold on to money. But this fellow is always having it in his under his armpit. Another fellow in the same village, the same place, from the same place, called Ashada Bhuti. This person's name is Ashada Bhuti. He is a hypocrite, of course, and he is a thief, cunning fellow, wicked fellow. So what he was doing was he saw this monk always carrying something under his armpit. And we know thief waits for a careless opponent. So he decided, I have to take this money away. When he was thinking about this, what happened, we'll see. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate